Welcome to a Starter and a Chaser podcast with your hosts, Joe Clarke and John Passow.
What's up, John? How you doing today?
Pretty good. Welcome to another episode of a Starter and a Chaser podcast. I'm John.
I'm Joe. I don't know if you guys remember, we had a show about 6 months ago. It was how air and time and our oxygen and time affect whiskey.
Link up here for that episode.
And also, if you remember, the whiskey we used was Bulleit Bourbon Blender Select, their Frontier Whiskey Blender Select. And we actually marked that bottle to not be drinking it, or at least drink at all, until we re-reviewed this episode and see how it changes again. Because if you guys remember, this whiskey here changes a lot for us. And I know we've gotten some feedback from other people that they say the same.
So we wanted to do the follow-up episode to see really how much it's changed with 6 months worth of oxygen exposure versus the fresh crack and the 1 month open bottle that we reviewed in the first episode. So the first time that you tasted the freshly opened bottles, what'd you get on that?
So we got a lot of baking spices. John said he was pulling fig, caramel, dark fruits, barrel notes, and then on the open bottle that you had,
we got more of the rye spice came out, just a hint of that dark fruit. It was almost gone, and then some kind of just a hint of a baking spice note.
Right. Things got muted.
Yeah. The more oxygen had time to work on the on the bottle. But we have the 6 month one. Let's just dive right into this, man. What are you pulling, man?
A little more heat out of the nose than I remember.
Yeah.
Got that rye spice going on, and a little bit of the caramel. The dark fruits still seem to be on the muted side. They're there, but they're not super powerful. I think we should just crack into this. Let's get it what it tastes like.
Oh, that has changed.
Yeah.
That's tasty.
The alcohol is very mellow. It's not, and this is 100 proof, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, 100 proof.
And it's actually very mellow. It's easy to drink. It's very creamy now on the mouth.
Absolutely.
Extremely creamy. The rye spice is definitely there. It is definitely there. The caramel, the dark fruits seem to be more pronounced than I remember from the one being open for a month.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You know, I completely agree. It's very creamy. There is a hint of alcohol burn. I'm getting a little hug, not bad.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Then I'm getting caramel, but not super pronounced. It's more of those dark fruits coming up, making their presence known again. The fresh crack, I loved. The 1 month old, it was like, yeah. But now the 6 month is getting back to that fresh crack level of, I really like this.
Yeah, it's kind of evolved back into that, because when we first had this, the first time me and him had it, we had that long phone conversation that we talked about last episode on this, and we were in love with this. We're like, this is one of the best whiskeys ever come out. And then his month-old bottle was like, oh,
this has changed.
Yeah.
And now 6 month is back to that molasses I'm getting now. Barrel tannins, vanilla, char, extremely complex drink.
Everything seems a little bit more well integrated now.
Yes.
The fresh crack was extremely good, very good whiskey, but sometimes a little bit unbalanced and a little rough around the edges. I think the time with this one has definitely mellowed that back out and kind of let that well integrate with each other.
I don't know. I think we should set this aside for another 6 months so that we can do a 1 year follow-up episode.
I can do that.
I don't know how you could, because I kind of want to drink this.
I still have another bottle of it that's opened.
So there's his secret.
There's always backups.
Well, there we go, folks. You know, if you agree, if you don't agree, if you have a bottle that you've noticed has changed completely from when you opened it to 6 months in or even a year in, let us know what brand that is, because I'm always curious to see how other people's experience is with how oxygen affects whiskey.
Part two.
Partois.
Right. See you later, guys. See you next time. Enjoy your whiskey. Drink responsibly or irresponsibly, whatever you choose to do.
So long as you do it in the comfort of your own home.
That's right.
All right.
See you next time.